Hi there, my name is Thomas J. Brown, and you're watching the commentary video for A Great Idea. This was a project that I did in high school for a class called Fiction and Film, and it was taught by David McCullough Jr., the son of the famous author David McCullough. I had 3 partners on this project, Daniel Akiyama, Shilani Kazar, and Niels Knapp. And I don't remember exactly what all of the requirements were, but I know it had to be about 10 minutes long, and it had to have like a story arc. It had to tell a story. This shot here is a bit of a joke. Niels was German, or is German, so The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich I think that was actually his idea even. He thought it was funny. This is Jack Canfield. I had to thank him so much because he stayed after school for quite a bit longer than really he should have had to, and in fact all of these people in the library stayed quite long, and I really appreciate them doing that because they didn't get anything. In fact, a whole bunch of them didn't even get credit. This shot here that you're watching right now is the longest shot in the entire video and is the reason we lost 1 point. We had a perfect score. Mr. McCullough had written down 50, and then he crossed it out and wrote down 49 instead, and he said it was because this shot was too long. In hindsight, I agree. I was going for a sort of Aguirre, Wrath of God, Werner Herzog type of thing where I wanted the audience to be bored, because I wanted them to feel, to be able to empathize with that character of gosh, he's bored, he's sitting there, he's got nothing to do, and so I wanted the audience to be bored too. Apparently, the highest score anyone had ever gotten on this was like a 45 or a 48 or something like that. And so when we got a 49, that was big news on campus. People were apparently talking about it. In fact, one of the kids from the other group that had previously held the score came up and congratulated me. In fact, not only were the people in the library, in the video in the library, people who deserve thanks, but the people there was one woman in particular who stayed late, who worked at the library, who let us in basically, and a lot of thanks to her too, because she didn't have to stay that late either. And of course, none of these people could leave till we were done, so we had to hurry through and get it done as quickly as we could. So you'll notice the music on this video sort of represents the idea. As the idea develops, the music develops, and as the music or as the idea is obstructed, as it is here, the music is sort of forlorn and obstructed, or stops altogether at times. A little joke here. It says great ideas, and the title of the show is A Great Idea. I like this shot. This is a cool shot. Really, really easy to get, too. Actually, somewhat of a standard shot, too. When you're shooting in a library, how can you not shoot between the stacks? Or through the stacks, I guess. So you'll see here when Chris opens the book and the idea falls out, you can sort of hear the music going along with that. We actually recorded the music at Daniel's house. It's an original composition by him, and we edited the video in silence, and it was totally silent, with no music, and then we went and shot, we set up a TV next to Daniel's piano, and he sat down and played, and I recorded it, and we did it, while he was watching the video. I love Julian there sleeping on the desk. I love the way he wakes up is fantastic, and it's not. I mean, it's kind of a joke at first. You look at here how he wakes up so suddenly, and he jerks up and he pulls the book up with him and everything, and it's like kind of comic and everything. But more than that is this little face rub that he does right there. To me, that really sells the idea that he was just asleep. And of course he wasn't, he's acting. But I thought that was a nice touch that he added on that I didn't direct him to do. The fall of the Roman Empire, another little joke here. We had the rise and fall of the Third Reich earlier, so we had him reading The Fall of the Roman Empire. There are a whole bunch of little jokes sort of peppered throughout. In fact, another one of the jokes is coming up here. But first, so you see how Julian is wearing a dark shirt and his background is dark, and Chris is wearing a light shirt and his background is light. There's no meaning to it. I noticed that while we were shooting, so I framed it this way. So here's the other joke. This is Diane Go, and she was well known among the students as being the unnecessarily strict librarian. So we asked her to be in the video and sort of yell at the kids, and I don't think she realized we were making fun of her. So this is kind of an interesting scene. Liam throws a piece of paper away, and not his piece of paper, but the idea calls out to him. And so it's interesting that the idea has sort of this supernatural ability to get his attention, but it's because it doesn't want to die. I love that a book was in the garbage. And I believe that's my class ring, also in the garbage. And if you look in the background of this shot, there's the film encyclopedia, another little inside joke there, or I guess joke that we put in, not really an inside joke. I think we liked the life of the mind was in the garbage. We probably spent an unnecessarily large amount of time finding books to be our inside jokes. He just leaves the garbage on the desk. It's great. So now you'll notice in the original video, when you can actually hear the music, that at this point the music changes. The idea has left the library, and so it's really evolved. It's taken on a whole new level. And here you see the idea spreading around campus. Now you'll see that paper that's sort of halfway dissolved on here. It kind of jitters every once in a while, and the reason for that is because it's being played at, I think, like half or maybe even quarter speed. Oh, and I know what we did. We played it at half speed, and then we played it at half speed again. So it's at quarter speed in the final, but it took 2 goes of playing it at half speed. Of course, this is all done on a linear editing system. And this shot is actually sort of showing off a little bit because we had access to what was called AB roll, and nobody else really had access to that. So we decided we wanted to show off by doing this shot. It allowed us to basically play 2 pieces of footage at the same time, whereas everybody else could only play 1 piece of footage at a time. This is another example of us playing VHS tapes in a way that they were not meant to be played. We're playing them backwards here, and that's why you get that sort of horizontal artifacting, I guess, that you see. So that's what allows us to uncrumple a piece of paper and have it be perfectly smooth. I actually used this same trick on another project, on the Penthouse Live videos, the opening sequence with all the participants. It's the same thing. They look like they're catching a piece of paper and opening it up. So I think it's a cool effect. I really like it. And it looks much better in the Penthouse videos because they weren't shot on VHS, so we don't have those horrible horizontal stripes. So you'll notice that all the letters are lowercase except for the letter A, and every instance of the letter A is capitalized. The reason for that is we were trying to send a not-so-subtle signal to Mr. McCullough to give us an A on the project, and apparently it worked. So again, I feel bad that we didn't credit all of the extras who, again, these were all people who stayed after school longer than they had to help us out with our project. We didn't pay them. I don't think we even fed them. We probably should have. At the very least, geez. This was another example of using AB roll. Each of the first names and each of the last names was done separately. And then there's a wipe down the middle of the screen, a horizontal wipe on the middle of the screen. Except for this one. This is the only one that was done statically. There was a lot of AB roll stuff there because I had access to the system, so I wanted to make extensive use of it. This was a good project overall, and in fact, it's probably one of the better things that I did in high school. All four of us in the group were incredibly creative people, and at times that caused us to butt heads, and maybe give up. And we had to learn to give up things, and we had to learn to do things that we didn't want to do for the sake of other members in the group. But in the end, I think we were all very, very pleased with the final product. Certainly, we were pleased with the grade we got on it. But even today, I look at it and I still really like it. So hopefully you liked it too. So thanks for watching.